You show up for everyone, your kids, your partner, your job, your dogs, your mother-in-law, but when's the last time you actually showed up for yourself? The relationship that we have with ourselves lasts our entire lifetime. Therefore, it deserves to be nurtured. But where do we even get started when we have been in the habit of neglecting ourselves for so long? Let's kick it off with a quote by Julia Cameron from The Artist's Way. Chapter 2. As blocked creatives, we focus not on our responsibility to ourselves, but on our responsibilities to others. We tend to think that such behavior makes us good people. It doesn't. It makes us frustrated people. And boy, do I relate, because especially when I was a new parent, you know what word I used a lot was, I'm frustrated. And I would have to say a lot of people feel frustrated often through parenthood, and I would say that that's valid and makes sense if you're feeling frustrated, especially if you are the caregiver. Now, what I have noticed in our society is that to be a mother almost is synonymous with to be a martyr. You are an honorable young person if you give up everything, your life, your hopes, your dreams, in pursuit of raising your children. That gives you purpose. No, it does not. Please do not do not make your children your purpose in life. Do they help drive your life forward? Absolutely. But one day they will grow up, they will move out of your house, and you will be with you again. So, that is why I have been thinking and reflecting on the relationship that I have with myself. And I wanted to share some thoughts that hopefully will inspire you to nurture that relationship as well. And welcome to my car, because as a busy mother, I am often in my car hanging out and waiting for things to be done and activities to be had. So thank you. Step 1 is recognizing that you are depleting your relationship with yourself. Now, this can look like many different things. 1, it can look like you are doing nothing for yourself. When's the last time you showered or washed your hair? 2, it can look like you just feeling frustrated with your kids or your partner or your dogs that won't stop barking. And maybe you're feeling a little short. So maybe it's more of an internal struggle of feeling short with people, feeling frustrated, feeling like you just don't want to keep doing the same old song and dance. So we got to recognize it. And remember, when we are the best versions of ourselves, we can also be the best parent versions of ourselves as well. So this is not selfish. I repeat, spending time on yourself is not, and with yourself is not selfish as much as you feel like it might be, because I definitely feel that way. So we have recognized we're in a cycle of depleting our relationship and suffocating the relationship with ourselves, abandoning ourselves to be the mother or the caregiver or the partner, right? So let's stop that. Obviously, we can't completely stop, because if you have kids, you still have to be a parent, you know. So let's do a little reflecting, and that's what I've been doing. Reflecting, what do I like? What makes Jessica Jessica? Who am I? And where did I come from? And what things brought me joy? And what things could I take myself to do by myself? And I think this is the hardest part, because Julia, in her book, she talks about the importance of taking yourself on artist dates, and that is so hard for me to do, because a lot of the things that I want to take myself to do by myself, I know that my kids would enjoy. I know that my partner would enjoy, and I'm like, nope, I have to forge alone. I need to like take my own path today, or whatever it is. So it just feels kind of funny to be like, no, you guys stay home while I take myself to the thrift shop and look around, or will I take myself out for a cup of coffee and look at people at the mall. I don't even know what I want to do with myself half the time. So let's reflect and think about, how can we take better care of ourselves? And this can look like taking an hour a week to just go do something for yourself, get your nails done, or take yourself out for a cup of coffee or a drink or whatever, but I feel like we also need to incorporate this into a daily ritual of making sure we're eating healthy, making sure we're taking care of our body, making sure we are working out, make sure we are just having those moments to meditate and those moments of peace and calm. And journaling is super important for me. It's so much. Like sometimes when I think about my day from beginning to end, I'm just like, why is it so busy? And no wonder you don't feel like you have time to make this video and why you feel frantic. It makes sense. So I'm just going to validate those feelings and move on. So define, what do you want to do and how do you want to continue nurturing that relationship with yourself? Because it feels very vulnerable. It feels very weird to like get to know yourself at a very core level when we are not distracted by chores, doing things, spending time with other people. The next thing I feel that is important to share is to protect that time. If you set aside an hour a week for yourself, protect it. Make sure you spend that time for yourself, even if it means locking yourself in the bathroom and taking a bath alone. Whatever it is, protect that time. After you've defined what you want to do, defined the rituals that you want to incorporate to your daily and weekly life, protect them. They are important because I know if I feel this, you guys are feeling this too, but it almost feels selfish to spend time on yourself. But it's not. It's important. It's important that we can feel comfortable in our own skin. It's important that we can spend time alone. Spend time with our own thoughts and feelings and experiences. And it feels kind of weird and uncomfortable for me, but it's important. And it's not selfish. I promise it's not selfish, because when you take that time to express yourself creatively, when you take that time to nurture that relationship that you have with yourself, you will be a more rounded and more happy and a more healthy version of yourself. Even though it feels weird and uncomfortable, I get it, but you gotta try it. Don't knock it till you try it. And then if you're like me, you'll stop doing it for a while, and then you'll realize, oh my gosh, I have been neglecting myself. And then we start the cycle over again, and we're like, oh yeah, I need to really protect those boundaries and make sure I'm taking care of me and not just being the caregiver in everybody else's life. I hope that helped. This was kind of a rambly video because we have been so busy. It was my birthday. Happy birthday to me and my daughter. She turned 13, and that's crazy, and we share a birthday, so that's pretty cool. But that means it's been busy. So you get the crazy ramblings of me from my car while I wait for her to be done hanging out with her friend. Because that's where we're at in life. I'm just hanging out in a parking lot, and I was like, I'll just hang out and film this video and get some work done. Good God. Wish me luck. I invite you guys to subscribe, like this video if you found it helpful, and if you are new, welcome to the community. I am really enjoying and excited because I'm almost at 300 subscribers, which isn't that much, but it is a lot. It's like the next benchmark, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.